Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. My brother, pastor for many years, he passed several months ago. And on his bed of affliction, he said to me, Eddie, if God gave me more time, I would serve him as though nothing else is important. That was a mind-opening statement. As if nothing else is important, as if nothing else mattered. I got the message. Living in hell is rough. That's if you're not on the team. If you're not on the team or playing in the game, that means you're out of place. So I say to my brothers and sisters, all of you, my friends and my family, many of you have no understanding of God, the one that is invisible, this figure that created you, put you on this earth to spend a life suffering. Many of you feel the way, and I'm no exception. Many of you feel that way, I'm sorry, and I am no exception. You know, we constantly hear people who say they don't believe in God. They're advocating this type of philosophy. I don't believe in God. Pain and suffering. They say all these kinds of things. And then some say they believe in God and go to church every day. But if you observe their actions, the indication is that they have no love for God. Well, I'm not saying that I had no love for God, but like you, I was there. I was there. I mean, I seen it all. I saw the talk. But I saw one or two in my lifetime that did the walk. That was fantastic. But what really made it okay for me is that I had a miracle in my life. And that miracle opened my eyes. And now that I can see, I can explain the deception that we are living. So let me tell it to you, the truth. All humans exist because you are created out of love. You exist out of love. You were to live heavenly here on earth. We, as human beings, are to live heavenly here on this earth. Before us, angels existed, and where they lived was heavenly, and they called that place heaven. But corruption came upon them, and many joined with the corruption, choosing to live according to their own will. Living here on earth, God prepared that humans, like angels, would live here just as if they were living in heaven. But now what did he do? The earth was built as the human's home. Everything that we will ever need are required in this life to do whatever man want to do. God has stored it somewhere on this earth, either in the earth, on the earth, above the earth, visible or invisible. Hey, this is powerful. This is love. This is love. Now, every one of us are to have our every need, our want, and our desire. We are to be satisfied. You, Africans, whites, natives, everybody is supposed to be satisfied. Now, what does that mean? That means suffering for nothing. We are to live in peace. Fantastic, huh? We are to live and be prosperous. We are to live, my God, free. We're supposed to be joyous and happy and live what some call the dream. You know, we won't be dreaming, we'll be living it. And when our imagination works with us and something pops up too, since we're doing what we love to do, we gonna do as much as we have to do to find out how to get this thing going and get it done. And we the people, together, collectively, as we have done everything, engage in this process as we do all processes. And we cause the manifestation of, by the power of the invisible that has provided for us that which we now need. And this desire that we have is met because we the people engaged. Now the reservoir is sitting there waiting for anybody that want, need, or desire. My. Every one of us to have our needs, our wants, and our desires met, to be satisfied, suffering for nothing. Isn't that something? Living in peace, being prosperous and free, joyous and happy. Now, every human benefiting from life, that's you and everybody we know. Every human benefiting from life individually and collectively. Now, isn't that wonderful? Now, individually, and that our dream, that our career, our job, is to provide to us, the doer, the greatest joy, the individual, the greatest joy that I can have, the greatest joy that you can have. You've heard some people say, oh, I got this job, I love it. And guess what? Getting paid on the top. How can you do any better than that? Well, this is the same way. You got the job that you love that give you your greatest joy. And the world needs it. The people of the world needs what you do. And you need what they do so that what you do can be complete. And everybody need one another. Now, collectively, the jobs and the careers that we have, they are created for them. You know, this is what I wanted you to understand. I wrote some notes here, and I want to make sure I get it right. The jobs and careers that humans have create for themselves is interconnected. Now, let me slow it back down. I just got through saying that you as an individual got jobs, right? That you love. Now, this is fantastic because this is not necessary, or if it's necessarily connected by people or not, it is divinely connected in such a way that the jobs that you have been given to love to do are the same kind of jobs that's interconnected with that of others. And having done that, and all you loving yourselves and loving what you do, what you're doing is creating for the reservoir of goods and services an abundance of those things that you have determined are absolutely necessary. And they're capable of satisfying and meeting the needs of everybody on earth. Ain't that something? Now, this heavenly life is a combination of the forces working together to produce that outcome. We all using the resources of the earth, breathing to start, getting from it. The resources, we're using them, but they've been supplied for us to use. To do what? To get our greatest joy by doing what? That which we've chosen to do, which is responsible for all the love that we have. Now, God provided all these resources. And they are for we, the people, to do the things that we need to do. Now, we use these resources to create our heaven on earth. Ain't that fantastic? We use these resources to create our heaven on earth. You didn't know that. I'm telling you this truth. Many of you know it anyway because it's a natural thing, but we've been programmed and indoctrinated to think something different, and all kinds of things different, and all those kinds of things different happen. And we are in the hell that we have created unintentionally, but those that are directing this hell. Well, you have never experienced this wonderful life that I'm telling you about. You have not experienced this life because of the visitation of that same deceptive one that disrupted heaven. Yes, this program is designed to destroy any heaven created by anyone on earth. Its method is to divide and conquer. We've heard that before. The strategy is to say that some are more, some are better. We know in America they say it all the time. There are those that are better. There are some that are smarter. There are some that would deserve it. You know who they are. We know them all the time. Now, when that kind of stuff exists, that creates a division. And in that division, it makes for creating a human system, creating rules like gerrymandering, creating these rules that says that we have electoral colleges, creating rules that cause problems to make things very complicated and difficult so bull can take place, so you can be exploited. Well, these new rules, these new regulations that allow for usurping others' power, taking whatever they want, the oil. You know, everybody owns the resources now. Some company, somebody invested in it, got you invested in it, while they using you to get your money and play the law and to play the game. Well, now they own the trees. They own everything that blasted thing. And now we still have the same needs that we need in heaven. But they got control over it. Not only do they have control over it, they got a control over who gets it, because they got a requirement that says you got to have money. In order for you to get the money, since they own everything, you can't do no work for yourself. If you come up with something that you call private, really, and you want to do your own thing, and it's something that they can benefit from, and it doesn't mess them up and destroy them or anything, they'll let you do that, and you get a part of that. Everything goes on good. But, my friends, when you sit getting something down like, let me say, this division, let me go back to this before, because I get to going. You know I get to go and tell you everything. This division makes for creating a human system, new rules, new regulations that allows for usurping others' power. You got any power? No, they even taking away your right to vote. Whatever they want, without resistance. These deceivers claim or take by force, any, oh man, the tools that they use. They lie, they cheat. You've heard me say that. They hate. They're racist and bigots. They create poverty and terror and war. This is all some negative stuff. For them, when you've been taught not to do that kind of stuff, they got no problem doing it. And then they get away with it. You know, I started a long time ago. Yet it continues, including a great number of the population. I don't know if I get talking, and I don't know about, it was something I want you to know. This miracle I was talking about how it was the miracle that really opened my eyes. If I hadn't received that miracle, would my eyes have been open? I don't know, but I know up until that point it hadn't been. And at that point it became. And so here I am saying to you that I've lived a long time, and for some strange reason, I just feel in my being that each of you love to live, that you want to live. Some of you want to live forever. That there are certain things that you desire in this life that will make your life complete. I say that because I know I'm the same. And I know that it has been designed for that to happen. But it doesn't happen. Because even though it's the righteous thing to do, even though it makes us like angels, makes us like human beings living in heaven like angels live in heaven. That means our needs, our wants, and our desires are met. Wow. All the resources are free. And then somebody comes along, like, let's use a couple people we know. Let's say Putin. He comes along willing to do any evil. Look, you say, what is evil is he doing? What kind of evil is he doing? Well, look what he's doing right now. He's killing any and everybody that's in the way of his bombs. And he's throwing these bombs because he wants these people to stop trying to have their own power, own right. He wants it. And he's tearing up all that they have structured. Doesn't care. That's the devil, man. Wow. And then you look at Israel doing the same dead blasted thing. Evil, devil. He said, well, he's justified. Now yes, evil is justified. Killing is evil, and it's justified to evil. And you can come out and say, well, he brought it on me. that sounds somebody like say, well, I wouldn't have cheated, but he cheated or she cheated, so I cheated to get even. Does that make it right? Well, maybe to you it does, but in somebody's corner it doesn't. In the corner of life. So when you see people over here in America, like, let's say a guy who used to be president of the United States, and he was throwing stuff like lying and cheating and throwing stuff at projecting, trying to say all the ugly stuff that he is doing. He is trying to say somebody else is doing it. So you looking over there at them trying to see if they're doing it. He every day telling you they out there doing it. Telling you these folks doing some crazy stuff. And you just looking for these folks and getting mad with folks just because he said it. And all at the same time, he's doing it. But see, he's getting through. Why? Because you can't see him. Why? Because he got you looking at me. He got you looking at somebody else. You can't see him. And you lose all your rights. Got you so mad with the black man trying to get him out of the way, till now he's gotten you out of the way. Because he can do anything he wants to you. Well, that's how that con worked in heaven, and that's how that con is working in this earth, and that is the very way this con is working in America. Now, the truth of it is like this, ladies and gentlemen. Some places are worse than others, but they're all evil. Now, when I say that, I'm saying that what Russia's doing is evil. What Israel is doing is evil. But look at the United States. What is the United States doing? The United States, in its efforts to trying to be good for everybody, in its efforts of trying to be good for everybody, wants to go and get money and support the Ukrainians because they are being abused. On the other hand, he wants to make sure that Israel gets money so they can go and kill people who don't want to take no stuff from them. Well, so what you got going on? You got somebody that's playing both sides of the fence. That is not the way to have heaven on earth. The heaven on earth, you choose the righteous way. And you don't go any other way, but you ain't killing nobody to make them go your way. But you would rather die than go their way. That's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. You can't play with the truth. You can pretend that kind of stuff until you get challenged. And when you're coming down these kinds of things, the challenge is, dude, you are not wanted here. You are not, if you're talking about peace, if you're, what politician really cares about peace enough to say, I am not going to, and I'm talking about people who are willing to suffer themselves. I'm not talking about somebody trying to threaten you. Look at Trump. He talks about what he's going to do to you. Somebody need to tell him, bring it on. I don't care what you can do to me. You still crazy. You still a demon-possessed individual taking care of evil stuff. And mean it. And if he want to kill you, let that sucker kill you. Hell, it's true. He just, by killing you, he proved it. He proved it. Now, the thing is, do you have enough sense to see it? He's banking that you don't. And, well, I don't know if you do or not. It doesn't matter to the person who's going to stand up anyway. These deceiving powers will do anything to stop the free exposition of righteous. It becomes the opportunity for the changed one to be reborn, one to exhibit the evidence by resisting ungodly efforts. You see, money, as I said earlier, the tool of evil to exploit others. There is no money in the heavenly plan. They are collectively creating a new world. Today, like I've said this, I just want to repeat it again because it's in my notes. Today, like the angels sold their rights to evil, sold their rights. Angels sold their rights, not all of them, some of them. So does the human population. Now, they must prove to everyone else that everyone counts. The deceiver claims that everyone must benefit, when only the deceiver benefits. Well, you see what I'm doing, right? What I'm reading here is stuff I've already told you, so I'm not going to read it again. It got good to me, and I just got going. But what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't get it, I was trying to give you the roadmap to building heaven on earth. Building heaven on earth, I just told you, it's simple. It's not complicated at all. It's not complicated at all. You, the people, wants, needs, and desires, resources provided. You know what it is that you need to do, want to do, that gives you your greatest joy. You do it. And while you're doing it, all of a sudden, because you're doing it, and you're doing it the righteous way, you're doing what has been connected and planned for it to happen anyway, the building of your heaven. That's by the power of that you can't see. That's the part that it played into it. You didn't know that your job was so connected with that job, that it would do that, have that outcome. But the designer did. And you, as you applied yourself, you learned that, yes, it does that. But it was already designed to do that. And having done that, what it does is create this heaven on earth. And then somebody like some of the things that the Republicans are doing today. Now, I don't want you to just think that this is Republicans. Democrats do it too. But there, at this point in time, are Republicans, the MAGAs, and Trump. And they represent the most basic evil that anybody could produce on this face of the earth. They represent that. That's all they represent. The ugly. They represent pure D hell. But the rest of us either supports it by going along with it for whatever the reasons might be. It could not happen if we didn't support it. And those who think that you're connected to something that is greater than this, and you going along with it, you are not. But I don't know how that's going to come out, but I do know that if you stand up and say to hell with this living in hell, let it get catchy. You know, everybody running. They threaten you and you're running for your life. I want to live. Help me, y'all. Just running. Cowards. All you cowards because you've been deceived. You don't understand life. It sounds cruel for me to say these kinds of things to you, but it's true. You got to know the truth to begin setting, if you want to be free. And that is, you just don't know. If you knew that when you died, that you would be everything that you could have imagined that has been denied right here. If you knew that, you knew it. That's the graduation. You couldn't wait. You'd be forcing yourself to have somebody kill you. But you don't know anything about that. And you know whatever hell you're going through right now, you'd rather go through it than to be dead. Ignorance. And I guess you're saying, well, you'll be ignorant a long time because you're not going to put your life on the line, and the devil knows if he got you. I want to thank you so very much. I just wanted to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, when I said wanted to share, I shared with you if you heard it. It is the basic plan, simple plan of establishing heaven on earth. Till next time, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.